in terms of inner Kechara, you can guess what the inner Kechara is, or inner pure land. That is the clear light. Eventually, I will talk about the tantric Ramrim, 5 stages of Tantra. They have their own Ramrim, 5 stages. Then the approximate clear light and real clear light, called meaning clear light. This is we are talking about the meaning clear light, which is indivisible emptiness and bliss. In other words, the mind of spontaneous great bliss that directly realizes emptiness. So union of bliss and emptiness. In Tantra we are talking about this one. For example, at the time of death, everybody, no matter regardless of your practitioner or not, clear light of death manifests because of the prana. But that's useless if you don't recognize it. So anyway, there's a whole teaching on how to recognize, and actually that's the whole point of we are doing. One of the important point at the time of the death, how we can utilize that most conducive mind. It's called innate mind of clear light. That's the inner Kechara. Sometimes called material cause for illusionary body. All this terminology might be confusing, but illusionary body you can think about like a rainbow body. Illusionary body is transforming a bulk body and transforming the rebirth and then appear as a nirvana kaya. So that illusionary body allows that. So that's why we have to enter clear light of death as a Vajrayogini. Otherwise, cannot come out as an illusionary body, this awakened form body. If we just recognize the clear light of death as an emptiness, as an ordinary being, you recognize emptiness, but doesn't come out as an illusionary body. But anyway, a little bit complicated. I have to talk more about the sequentially what's that entail. 5 stages. Ramazon Kaba talks about. It's a big thick book based on the Nagarjuna Indian sources, the Guhya Samaja, and all these authentic sources. Tsongkhapa is the one who really showed us how Tantra works, make it really available for us who have a certain intelligence, make us convinced it's possible. Otherwise, it's kind of wishy-washy and waiting for something awakened to happen. You know, that's might be possible if we have a momentum from previous lives. But we are not waiting for that. We are really follow this tradition. So that's the completion stage. So inner Kechara is achieved only through completion stage. But inner Kechara entails the outer Kechara. So if you attain the inner Kechara, you attain the outer Kechara. Another way to look at how to attain the inner Dakini land through the practice of completion stage is this highest yoga tantra method, which refers to the realization that attained by causing the inner wind, prana, to come to the central channel, not only enter, then stay there, abide. Maybe through these kind of Turko and Charun exercises, sometimes we feel just kind of little bit of moment of clarity feels entering, but that's not going to work because the moment we have to keep practicing, then abide, stay in there, then dissolve completely one within the central channel through this course of meditation. Of course, these exercises facilitate that, but basically through that process of meditation. Then come to the heart center, this so-called indestructible bindu drop residing here at the heart center. That's why I emphasize, try to point the crucial point at the heart center. Sometimes people try to meditate, just kind of vague thing, but that doesn't help the prana to flow in there. So that's why I'm picky about the location. The more you bring your attention, the more prana flows, right? That's the thing. In Tibetan called Run Sem Jupa Chipa. Run means wind, prana. Sem means mind. Jupa means enter. Then Chipa means one, means union, tendant. The prana and the mind flow together. So wherever you pay attention, prana flows. But no matter how much you are focusing on certain places, prana doesn't go in there. Only certain places in the body, human body. So I said that when we attain the inner pure land through Vajrayogini practice, completion stage, Completion stage means we are basing on the generation stage. We are already Vajrayogini. Then we do completion stage, right? We also attain outer pure land. All these things will unfold. And right now we are talking theoretically. Okay, just take a moment to breathe here. In terms of this conviction in Dakini land, dream is very good, like experience of dreams. I was talking about this metaphor of water, so depends on who perceive, different. And the dream also same. And the importance of correct view. Through studying the correct view, studying is very important. You remember study, contemplation, and meditation. If we try to do just meditation, there's nothing to meditate on. What are you going to say? Same as this crucial point. If we don't nail it, for example, object of negation, gakcha. Naturally emphasize pretty much this one. What's empty of? We don't negate everything. Because I function, no? Khandro talks here, I can communicate. I who communicate with you exist, function. We don't want to negate that one. It's called labels. Merely labeled I. So we need to really study those things a little bit. I've been kind of repeating myself, but over the time, I think you got the idea. That one. Correct view of emptiness is important. Then come to understanding everything is merely labeled. Everything is merely an appearance of the mind. Label means mind which labels Khandro, for example, based on the base of body and mind. Like a dream, right? Merely imputed by conceptual thought.
Kame shivore kange